can't believe I'm saying this, but this is my first time drawing anime. Yeah, I know. Like, what have I been doing with my whole life? I guess I finally decided to get it together. So today I'll be talking to you about what my process was like, what I did right, what I did wrong, and what I would do differently. So per usual, the first things first, start off with a sketch. Now when you're doing your sketch, don't be like me where you get really caught up in all the details. Just get your basic shapes out. Now, I was really nervous when I was doing this because I feel like there really is an art to anime. There is a style. There's a certain way you're supposed to go about things, and I feel like I don't really have that internalized. So I kept trying to do things the way that I normally do, and I wasn't really getting the best results. So I think maybe I need to consume some more anime, maybe practice drawing a bit more. I don't know. But I start off my rough sketch, try not to get too detailed. And a layer above that, I'm going to go in with the brush of my choice, which I choose Syrup because it got me in a chokehold. And I go over my sketch and make sure I clean up any lines that I wasn't particularly confident about, that I didn't really like. This is my established drawing. Like, this is what I'm gonna color in eventually. So I start off with a sketch. I create a new layer, do my line art on that layer. Now when I'm doing that, I wanna bring my sketch down to about 30% opacity so that I can just kind of draw over it the way I need to. Now that I'm putting my finishing touches on my line art, it's about to get real. When you are confident you like your line art, you're going to select it, you're going to click on reference. This is going to allow it to have an outline for you to be able to fill in color. Now, this is something that I don't typically do in any of my drawings. I go in and manually color them in as if I were using regular pen and paper, and I gotta say, this was honestly a game changer. Like, I don't know what I've been doing all this time. If you haven't tried this, you need to try it. The really cool thing about this is once you take your line art and turn it to reference, you just drop the color on that same layer. You don't have to create a new layer or anything like that. So it makes it fairly simple. At this point, I have all my basic colors in, and now I'm going in and adding shadows and just to give it a little bit of depth and movement. Now this is where it gets fun, and I've actually never done this before, but this is the part where you go in to start recoloring your lines. Now, if you've seen any of my art, you'll notice I have a fairly cohesive style where I love for my outlines to be very thick, dark, black typically. Now in anime, that's not always the case. Most of the time, the lines match whatever color, is on the inside of that particular object, maybe just a little darker version of it. And so all I did was go in, create a layer above my reference, which is, my line art with the setting of reference, and then I take like an airbrush brush and go in and change the color. Now here's where things got a little tricky. What I should have done is recolor the lines on different layers so that if I wasn't quite happy with the recoloring of a particular section of the drawing, I could go in and change it. I did not do that, and it definitely made it more difficult for me. So I would highly recommend that you create different layers and recolor your lines on those layers. Just saying. Now, last but not least, as I wrap all this up, there are a couple things I think I would do differently. Like I said, I would recolor my lines on individual layers. I would listen to the tutorial a few more times, and then I would internalize the anime style a lot more to kind of understand what are the typical rules that I would need to follow in order to get an authentic drawing. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now and let y'all finish the rest of this. If you like this drawing or you want to see more like it, Put something in the comments. Let me know what I should draw next. All right. See y'all next video.